Hello everyone. Today we are taking a deep dive into this CNN business story, the 5 strangest things about SpaceX's IPO prospectus. We are going to break down exactly what happened here and what the real risks are that every investor should know about. But before that, you are watching Decode Daily News, where we take the biggest business and finance stories and decode them so anyone can understand. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now. So let us get into it. The SpaceX board granted Musk an award of 1 billion restricted shares on the condition that he guides the company to 2 milestones, a $7.5 trillion market capitalization. So that line really caught my attention, and here is why. That number is not a small target. $7.5 trillion. For context, the most valuable public companies in the world are sitting around 2 to 3 trillion. SpaceX would need to be worth more than 2 of them combined. And the person unlocking this bonus already has more money than most people could ever imagine. So what is this bonus actually doing? Let's see what is written ahead in this same news paragraph. And a permanent human colony on Mars with at least 1 million inhabitants. Now sit with that for a second. This is inside a legal financial document, a real prospectus filed with regulators that real investors are supposed to read and evaluate. And buried in the executive compensation section is a requirement to build a permanent human presence on another planet. That tells you something important about how this company is being run and what your money would actually be attached to if you invest. And this is where the real story is. Musk will be able to elect, remove, or fill any vacancy among the top shareholders on the board. And that is not a small thing. That kind of control is rare, even by the standards of founder-led companies. Most companies that go public give shareholders a meaningful voice. Here, the structure is different. The person at the top has the ability to shape the board around him. For anyone thinking about buying in, that is worth understanding clearly before making any decision. And the reason behind it tells you even more. And have the power to control the outcome of matters requiring shareholder approval, including election of all our directors, and to control our business and affairs. Pause right there. That sentence was written by lawyers into a document filed with regulators. It is not buried or hidden. It is right there in plain language. Shareholders will have a voice on paper, but the math of the voting structure tells a different story. If you put money into this company, you are trusting the direction it is being taken in, because changing that direction would be extremely difficult. Now this is the part I could not move past. The company lost almost $5 billion last year on revenue of $18.7 billion. And here is what that really tells you. Nearly $19 billion coming in and still finishing deep in the red. That gap exists almost entirely because of the XAI division, which was merged into SpaceX. According to the prospectus, that division brought in $3.2 billion in revenue, while spending $12.7 billion on data centers alone. The rocket business that built SpaceX's reputation is now carrying a much larger operation on its back. And then came the number that changed everything. And the losses grew by another $4.3 billion in the first 3 months of this year. And think about what that actually means. That is not slowing down. That is accelerating. And for anyone evaluating this as an investment, the question is not just whether the company can grow revenue, it is whether this spending pace ever finds a ceiling. So that is exactly where my take comes in. But real quick, before I give you my take, this video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. So, what stands out most about this prospectus is how upfront it actually is. SpaceX openly states that several of its biggest ambitions involve technologies that do not exist yet. Orbital data centers in space, a lunar economy, human augmentation systems. The filing itself says these projects may never reach commercial viability. That level of honesty in an IPO document is not common. Most companies filing to go public lead with their strongest foot forward. SpaceX essentially says, here is the vision, here is the uncertainty, and here is what we cannot guarantee. but honest does not mean without risk. The financials show a company spending at a pace that goes well beyond its rocket operations. The AI division is the main driver of those costs, and it is still in very early stages. So if this IPO moves forward and you are thinking about it, the real question to ask yourself is this: are you buying into the rocket company, or are you buying into everything Elon Musk believes this company should become? If this breakdown was useful, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss one of these deep dives. And drop a comment below. Would you invest in SpaceX at IPO, or does the Mars colony requirement give you pause?